Hi, guys, and welcome back to the City Sculptors Season 2. I cannot believe how fast time has gone. I cannot wait for you to listen to all of our episodes and get to hear all of our guests and all of the knowledge that they have to share with you. Make sure to tune in 7 a.m. Monday morning. Hi, and welcome back to the City Sculptors Podcast. I'm your host, Alexis Williams, and today we are joined by a woman who has made history and is sculpting her city in ways that is very new and exciting. So we are going to welcome Mayor Crystal Watson of Kansas City, Kansas, Wyandotte County.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. This is so exciting. You are the first Black mayor in
Female mayor
on the Kansas side. How does that feel?
Incredible.
Incredible.
Yep, it feels absolutely incredible. And we haven't had a female in 20 years. So, yeah, it feels really good.
Okay, and before you became mayor, let's go back a little. So before you became mayor, you worked in education, neighborhood development, and nonprofit leadership. How do you think those experiences help shape you into being ready for a role this major?
It shaped me in ways I never even imagined. When you are operating at a grassroots level, you get to know the community and the people. I had a very wise woman, the famous Marianne Flunder, she has since passed away, but she was a strong community advocate and activist in Wyandotte County. And she taught me early on that if you ever going to do anything in the community or if you're ever going to be in position, even politically, that you need to start out at a grassroots level. And so having had an experience with education, doing community development, working with neighborhood groups, it doesn't get any better than that. You learn and you understand and you see the human side of what really makes us function as a community.
And so before you kind of got into those roles, let's go high school, college. When did you know, this is what I'm getting my degree, and I think I want to help. I want to be grassroots. I want to help people. When did you start getting that feeling?
I got that feeling, actually, it wasn't high school.
Okay.
And it was not, because in high school, I think I wanted to be I wanted to be a radio broadcaster because that's what my dad was.
Oh, okay.
My dad was one of the first Black voices in radio. So that's one of those things people don't know. His name was Neil Poindexter, and he was on KMBZ, KMBR radio, started out at Carter Broadcast. So I thought I wanted to do that. But actually, I knew I wanted to help people when I was at Sprint.
Okay.
And I went through some professional training. They had what they call the University of Excellence. And I went through that and took a class, and they said, you need to have your own mission statement and vision statement. So I sat and thought about it. I said, you know what? I want to be in a position of influence so that I can be a voice for those who don't have a voice.
I love that.
And as soon as I wrote that out, my career began to move in that direction.
And it sounds like making history runs in your family. So
I guess so.
So you kind of had that already
instilled
in you.
Yeah.
So keep it going.
I think I'm a chip off the old block.
Yeah. Sometimes our parents instill stuff in us that we don't even realize until
they don't.
Years later. And you're like, oh.
But they see our potential, though.
Yes. Nobody sees more potential
than our parents.
Than our parents. At what point, outside of helping people, did you realize public service and leadership was your calling? A lot of people want to be of power and of influence, but they usually don't make great leaders, and they're not willing to serve.
I knew that back in 2004.
I think I might have still been in kindergarten.
Oh, my.
Okay, so what happened in 2004?
In 2004, I was about to become the president and CEO of the Heartland Black Chamber of Commerce, which back then was KBCC Inc.
Okay.
And a lot of folks didn't want me to take the job. I had to pray about it. And when I prayed about it, I got direction. And it was at that moment that I knew that my career was moving in a direction of service in a way that I never even imagined. And I knew that there was a certain responsibility to do things with integrity, to be a light, and to accept people for where they are. Because we are very quick to throw each other away, especially African Americans. You know, as soon as we make a mistake, oh, you got a reputation, and then you don't want to work with them. You don't want to do anything with them. We all make mistakes, right? And it was then that I believe, because I am a very strong person of faith, I believe that the Lord led me to understand, don't be quick to throw people away, especially your own people. Always give people the benefit of the doubt until they show themselves to you, right?
Yes.
Because how people treat you may be different than how they treat me. So I can't expect to just disregard them just because you had a bad experience. It doesn't mean I will. So I think that's when it really hit me that, my career is going to change. Like, I didn't know exactly what, but
You knew it wasn't going to...
it took a different, it took a route. By taking that role, I knew this is where I'm going to be, somewhere in this.
And we talk about on our podcast a lot of people say they have that one opportunity that they sat there and they're like, had I not taken that opportunity, my life would have went a completely...
Oh, yeah. I don't think I would. I think I would have ended up here, but not according to the plan, right?
Yeah.
I think maybe I'd have ended up on plan F or something like that.
It might have taken
And
a little
not on
bit
plan
longer.
A.
Yes.
But that was the beginning of the visibility and the notoriety around being in a chamber leader role, being an African American in a role, and then being close to politics.
And so within your position of power now, the community knows you. And I think that's one of the things, within your campaign, being grassroots and being of the community, that helped a lot. What do you think that story and kind of your position now, how do you hope that will help impact our next generation of leaders?
It already has impacted our next generation of leaders.
Tell me how.
I can't even begin to tell you how many young adults are watching and have shared how proud they am, how I've inspired. I believe more African American women, the younger generation, are excited and a lot more hopeful.
Yeah.
I had the wonderful pleasure of having a young, she was 6th or 7th grade.
Okay.
No, 5th grade. It was elementary school. And she chose me as a person in history, like during Black History Month. And of all the leaders she could have chosen, dead or alive, she chose me. And that was so humbling. So I think I've already made a difference.
And you have. And I think it says something that we're still making history in 2026. And good or bad, how people want to take that, we still have a lot of improvements. And I think you are. So the next generation, they can make, segue and open up new doors. But you've already opened up those doors. So that we appreciate that.
Honey,
and
I swung that door wide open.
kick it down.
I broke that ceiling.
I love that. We don't see that. And you hear about it and just different things people have done throughout history. And it's like, we still can make history in 2026.
Oh, we absolutely can.
And if you put your mind to it, especially as women and especially as Black women, we have to work even harder for things that we do. So to see somebody of influence and power, it means a lot to even my generation.
Yeah.
In your opinion, now that you are in this position of making decisions, what makes a city beyond buildings and infrastructure? What makes your city your city?
Well, what first of all makes it are the people, right? The people make the difference in any city. I think the second biggest thing is the leadership, right?
Okay.
Leadership shapes and molds the direction of how we operate, how we function, and it sets policy on, our taxes and just how we manage business. Because at the end of the day, it's all about money.
Yeah.
It's all about lifestyle and how you want to live, but how are we positioning ourselves to bring in more revenue so that the residents within that community can flourish and can have a better quality of life? And that's really what makes up the city. So the decisions that leadership makes can make or break a city.
I'm glad you said that. Most leaders do not put themselves in that category. They're like, don't hold us responsible.
And I think, one of the things that I'm learning is that if you take care of the people will take care of you. And the cities that thrive around the U.S., to me, are the cities that have figured out how to take care of the social needs in their community, meaning how they take care of the people while they build their infrastructure, while they attract new business, while they develop homes and new buildings and create more opportunity for agriculture, and innovative technology. Those cities are thriving because they first understand the human capital that they have, and secondly, they understand their assets. And when you know what your assets are and you know how to capitalize on that, then you can begin to set policy that creates a strong infrastructure, that prepares for it, that plans for it, and has the right leadership that can manage it.
And it starts with the people, and then second, the leadership, and put the people first.
It is really what I ran my campaign on. It's the people, the process, and the policy.
The 3 Ps.
The 3 Ps.
What do you think people misunderstand the most about how cities actually function?
Oh, what they don't see the full picture.
Can you give us half of the picture today?
Most people only see one side of the equation.
Yeah.
They don't see the other side, right? They don't understand the numbers. They don't understand how things are calculated. And they think they know, but they don't. And then they don't understand the politics.
Yeah.
There are politics to everything. Like the cheese, for example.
She got there before me, y'all. Okay, I was going to bring it up.
But this is a perfect example. And I really hope I'm able to articulate this in a manner that helps people understand.
Okay.
You got to see two sides. Cheese made a deal with the state. Local did not participate in the deal. Many people wanted us to, well, don't take that deal. Billionaires are making all their money. Well, at the end of the day, billionaires are billionaires because they know how to spend other people's money. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Right? That's the nature of the beast.
That's the fact.
You got to know that. You got to know that game. But do we cut our nose to spite our face? So if we weren't part of the deal and the deal is still going to go with or without us, isn't it better that we go ahead and accept it, embrace the opportunity, and instead of looking at the situation half empty of a glass, look at it half full, and that, all right, now let me get to the table. Let me have a conversation. Let me try to influence them to better understand who we are as a local municipality and how we can work together, right? And so for me, that's the bigger picture. So you don't want to cut out just because, oh, we don't want to make them billionaires. No, I don't want to make them a billionaire either. They're already a billionaire, right? They're going to make their money with or without me, with or without you. But at the end of the day, you have to look at how can we better position ourselves so that we are at the table and we can still be considered moving forward. Because just because we weren't at the table in the beginning doesn't mean we don't have to be there in the end.
And I think one of the things, before I follow up, that you said is that the state made that agreement. And I think for a regular viewer, in my position, I've gotten to know how government and entities work a lot more intricate than the average person. I don't think they fully understand what the mayor's responsibility or jurisdiction is and what you can and can't do. And so I think that's important for people to know. and that you're putting yourself at the table, but also there's processes and there's levels to this. It's not a dictatorship. One person just can't make these decisions.
Right. So my job right now is, you might not have had a seat ready for me, but I'm pulling up a chair.
Yeah.
But if I cut you off and say no, forget that deal. You're just trying to, get over on us and all that. Well, don't you think they still gonna do that if I'm not at the table?
At least now I know what's happening.
At least now I know. At least now I can try to make a difference. At least I know what's happening and I can inform, right? Mm-hmm. That's my job.
Yeah.
My job is to advocate and be a champion for my community. Well, I can't do that if I say no to everything because I don't like it because, I think you trying to get over on us and you're going to take advantage of us and all this negative stuff that you hear. We have to be smart and we have to be strategic. And I don't think people realize how much strategy goes into the decisions that we make. Checkers. That is correct.
Yeah. And so outside of all the negativity regarding that move, I've put in my negative 2 cents because I live in Missouri. So
I'm sorry.
So I do feel a way. I'm not going to lie. However, how do you see this impact in a positive way your city's economic opportunities that can come?
Other development will come. See, that's part of the bigger picture.
Yeah.
So the Chiefs Stadium is being built. You don't think other developers are looking at our properties now? Hey, I want to be in that area. And so now our job is to make sure the infrastructure is there so development can come in, right? Now the next step is educating our community so they fully understand. People we don't want our taxes raised. I get it. I live there too. I don't want my taxes raised. But at the end of the day, we need sales revenue. Because revenue pays for the services that you want to see in your community, right? So how are we going to get that sales revenue? You don't want your property tax to go up. Well, but if the property value goes up and when you're ready to sell your home, you're going to want
you want
that value of your home, right? I'm sorry, but with it comes an increase in your property tax, right? Because the value of your home has gone up. So it's those kinds of things that we have to really think about. At the end of the day, it will position us economically because it allows us to bring in new development, bring in new business, bring in more property tax, bring in more revenue.
And you speak about development, and I don't think there has been much new development on your side right now, but...
Well, actually, there's been American Royal.
Yes.
Buc-ee's. The infamous Buc-ee's. I've never been to a Buc-ee's.
I've been to a Buc-ee's in Tennessee.
But I understand it's
I don't know.
It's a destination in itself.
I think I just have anxiety and I got a little bit overwhelmed.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So I don't know if I thoroughly enjoyed the experience. Well, other people say they do.
Let's see, this Buc-ee's is going to be one of the largest Buc-ee's in the U.S.
So I don't know.
It's coming to KCK.
It is a lot. It is coming to KCK.
Then there is the Mattel amusement park. Yes. The Hot Wheels and the Barbie Land. Yes. That's coming. That's going to be in Bonner.
And so we're hoping that those big things bring housing development.
Right. There'll be other development that will take place. The Chiefs is just the beginning. And we're starting to see more inquiries for new development east of 635. So this is all a good thing. So while the Chiefs is going to do their thing over here, let's let them do that. And let's be at the table and let's be friends, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm more concerned about everywhere else in Wyandotte County. Because that's where the jewel is. The jewel is the northeast area. The jewel is in Rosedale and Argentine. It's in Armourdale. It's in the Turner District. That's where the jewel of Wyandotte County. There's jewels all over. It's not just in the West End of Wyandotte County, even though it's a jewel in itself.
I was going to say, I think a lot of people forget that piece too.
Yeah.
Because like you said, everything else is in a different direction, but you guys are all one. And I do love, let me say this, I love how Kansas City, Kansas and Kansas City, Missouri, although we are kind of split up and we support You support across the board in your counties, and everybody supports and kind of comes together to see what is best for the city.
Right.
And so I do love that your leadership does that as a team.
Absolutely.
Cities are facing growing challenges with infrastructure, housing, and budgets. How do you you kind of touched on it, but how do you make difficult decisions about what to bring while still serving the community?
You weed it out. Right now, we're in the process of really evaluating what do we want. I don't really think Wyandotte County has been very different in that, if somebody just brought something, we look at it, okay, if that works, and we take it on. And I say that because we've had several master plans to which none of them have really quite materialized the way they should have. Under my leadership, we're not going to do that. We are really going to look at, all right, if this is coming and this is coming, what else do we want?
And how can we connect it?
And because they all should enhance one another, right? They all should benefit one another. And so I don't want us to be doing this kind of one-off here and one-off there without any careful thought to what we're creating. We need to know exactly what we want in our communities. It's already really started with some of our neighborhood groups. Our neighborhood groups have wanted to say, hey, we want a certain style of homes here. We want to plan. We want to plan now. I love that.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think that's going to be the key to our continued growth. But being confident about who we are, what our niche is, and what we want in our community, and then actually being able to execute and implement that kind of development, I think is really going to set us apart.
And what do you think your advantage is right now, as far as what you guys have versus your
Remember I told you about
perspective?
Yeah, I said we need to know our assets. One of our assets is we're near a railway.
And what does that mean for the average?
I mean, there's some businesses that will come here just because of railway that we don't even really market to the way we really could. We're in the middle of the USA. Literally, Kansas is like the heart. Between Kansas and Missouri, we're at the heart.
Don't say that to her.
The U.S. We are becoming a tourist destination, a Midwest tourist destination. How awesome is that, right? We also have the opportunity, because we're so close to Kansas City, Missouri, we can really beef up our bi-state opportunities. Yeah. Union Station is one of the biggest bi-state projects that has been done between Kansas and Missouri.
I did not know. You better educate us.
And so I'm looking for more of those opportunities.
Yeah.
I think they're there. And I think for us, that is an asset.
I think your mindset as a leader is probably the biggest advantage, and just your insight. The fact that you can have these conversations and confidently know what you're talking about because you're involved and you care. And so
Absolutely.
That's a different.
And it took me being at a grassroots level to really see the community. We have there's Quindale Ruins. That's a great asset, right? And it's near the river.
You guys have a piece of the Underground Railroad over there.
We've got the Underground Railroad. We have limestone that is still good in that, which are artifacts that are on the property that we need to preserve, that really could do wonders for the Quindale Ruins in terms of development. And we're looking at those opportunities right now. And when I think about and visualize, the Quindale Ruins being rebuilt and being a destination, and then having something off the river and having our own little riverfront there. I can envision all of that.
Yeah.
So time is now for us to be able to do those things because people are looking at us, right? And so we can capitalize on how we are now on the national stage just because the Chiefs chose KCK to bring their stadium.
Yes. And you guys are I'm excited to see, we're in Kansas a lot, so I'm excited to see the growth and everything that is coming. And I do think this is it's a great time for my generation and upcoming. I think for me, we got to see or on the Missouri side, we got to see Power and Light being built. We got to see like our city kind of grow up. And so to see it twice now, and on the Kansas side, it's like, okay, like stay
Really
here. Like
is.
you guys are giving, I want to say the Millennials and Gen Z stay, like a reason to stay. And I always preach that on every episode, like stay in Kansas City, bring your talents back, stay here.
And come to KCK because we don't have all that hustle bustle like y'all have over there in Kansas City, Missouri, which I love y'all's hustle and bustle. But when you all are ready to settle down and raise a family, like KCK is where you want to be.
Yes.
It is.
I know that's right, y'all. I'm still on the Missouri side, but
Come on over to the right side.
I'm in the River Mark. I'm very close. I can see you guys right across off of my balcony. That's how close. So, what does a typical day? So, we've kind of talked about your thought process. Kind of sounds like you're involved in a lot of different things. What does a typical day for a mayor look like for you? Because every mayor's different. So,
Anywhere to 7 to 8 meetings a day.
okay.
Like literally back to back, no lunch, no break, no vacation.
Don't make it sound so bad.
And it's all good. A typical day really is, so my day starts out, my chief of staff, who's fabulous, big shout out to Dr. Alicia DeVille. She sets my calendar for the day. I have a phenomenal security team that we go over, all right, Mayor, you've got this and this, and, we literally kind of put all my stuff together to take whether I'm going to go back to the office or not, because I'll be in back-to-back meetings. My meetings are about regional movement.
Okay.
Right now, it's all about the World Cup. I was just in a
That's taking up
meeting from
everybody's.
12 to 5, with the steering committee for World Cup, going over all of the operational tasks and duties and activities that are going to
5-hour
take
meeting,
place.
Lord.
Right. And then we met as a board afterwards from 3:30 to 5, talking, and approving things, that are still continued work or tasks that need to be done for all the activities that are going to happen. There are community meetings. There are meetings with staff. Today, had an operations meeting, and I just sat in a meeting. I was like, I don't need to say nothing. I just want to I'm part of the team. So it was all
love
of the
that,
department
though.
heads there, and, they did a presentation. I just sat there and looked at the presentation. So my meetings are, I will say this, because I do have a lot of meetings, and they could be varied.
Yeah.
Over different things, from development to operations to strategic planning to what's happening in the metropolitan area to engagements to speak,
Okay.
to do interviews, and to visit schools. But I will say that I want my day to be more focused on the initiatives I'm working on with more planning and execution of that.
Can we know what some of your initiatives are, or are we keeping that hush?
No, we're not keeping it hush. So one of the biggest initiatives we're working on is healthcare, our health department, and how we operate and provide services. And so looking for partnerships to do that. Another initiative is Quindaro Ruins. Very involved with getting that project up and going and getting the funding in. The third initiative is, and it's really not an initiative, but it turns into that, is housing. We've got over 4,000 land bank properties. And so what are we doing?
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at other ways to build. There's 3D print. Have you heard about the 3D print?
I have heard.
development?
I had a workshop.
I'm going to,
about it.
they're building a house in Topeka.
Okay, they have some in Texas, and somebody.
Yes, they do. A whole subdivision.
Yes, a
Several
whole
subdivisions.
Yes, and so I heard the gentleman speak on it and how it can withstand like.
They're very energy efficient.
Yes.
They can cut your costs down, especially if you're just going from house to house, like plot to plot, right?
Yes.
Or parcel to parcel to build.
The walls are stronger. I think that would
It's all
be very
made of
good for
concrete.
Kansas because Dorothy came from Kansas, so
Yeah.
tornadoes and
Tornado,
whatnot. The 3D printing is supposed to be like top grade for cheaper. I don't know though. I haven't seen it
I
in
know,
person, but the
listen.
presentation looked really good.
Hey, and we looking at it.
Yes.
Modular homes. I would love for somebody to do is build a manufacturing plant right here in somewhere in KCK downtown to do more modular homes, so we don't have to pay that shipping cost.
Yeah.
So that we can make homes more affordable. So those are the kinds of things that I'm working on that I'd like to have more meetings, or like
Wow.
I could dedicate a whole day to just that.
Yeah.
Right? And incorporate planning. All right, well, we're going to do this, and these are the stakeholders we need at the next table, and all right, where are we on that? All right, now how are we going to share this with the community? Like, right now, it's just a smorgasbord of different things, and that's
it all
typically
comes
my
together.
day, but it does all come together with a great team behind you and a great staff at the UG.
And it sounds like at the heart of all of that is the people. Like, as you just continue to speak, everything that you're doing is for your community and for the people.
Yeah,
And so
it has to be.
I do love that.
Because I live there, my family lives there, my grandbabies are there.
That's good. Out of those, what would you say your biggest priority? Obviously, we all know the World Cup is coming, so that is taken up. We're trying to get through that and celebrate that and be in the moment of that. But what would you say your biggest priority throughout your leadership would be to get done?
My biggest priority is the internal operations of unified government.
Okay.
The staff, the commissioners. It's my biggest challenge, and my biggest concern and heart for. Because we can't be a great city if we don't trust each other within the system. And there's a lot of work to be done when it comes to the internal aspect of our community or our organization, unified government as a whole. There are 3 other cities that have to be considerate of. That is Lake Quivira, Bonner Springs, and Edwardsville. We are a unified government. That's what makes up unified government, which includes Kansas City, Kansas. So not only am I concerned about being mayor for Kansas City, Kansas, and for the residents, but I care about Edwardsville, Bonner, and Lake Quivira as well. And so the staff that provides services for the entire county, we have to be on point. And I need to make sure that they're good. I need to make sure that they have the resources that they need. Okay. And more than anything, I need them to know that they have my support. And while I don't work with them on a day-to-day, it is very important for me to get that message across and to know that they have a leader that wants to put them first.
That is different.
We cannot function if we are not whole as an organization.
You guys try some team building activities?
We have to do all that stuff.
Okay.
You know, people are people. They hurt, they cry, they get offended, but they experience great moments and great joy in their work. And today I was in the ops meeting. There's a lady that's retiring after 33 years. Aww. And there's more people. Like, UG has held on to people for a long time, right? And so I just want the next generation that comes in to really feel good about wanting to work there and creating a culture that our residents can feel and touch and feel good about.
And for the next generation that's coming in or wants to get into civic leadership, can you give them one piece of advice of how to do that?
It's a good question because I have so many different answers.
If you were interviewing...
Be genuine.
Be genuine.
Be genuine.
Okay.
At the end of the day, don't try to be something you're not because people read through that. Yeah. Just be genuine and do the right thing. And sometimes the right thing goes against what maybe the loudest of your constituents may want. It could be the opposite, right? Mm-hmm. But is it the right thing to do, though, for the organization, for the community? Yes. Don't be afraid to be who you are, to stand in your truth, and don't be afraid if you think you're going to lose it all because you're doing the opposite of what people think. At the end of the day, if you're doing the right thing, it's not going to matter.
So we need some people coming in who will do the right thing.
And just be genuine, be real. People are responding to me just being real.
Yes.
And for me, being real is being human. Acknowledging that we're human.
Is there anything today, you've given us a lot of gems, a lot of insight, and kind of behind the scenes. Is there anything I haven't asked that you would like for our listeners and viewers to know about you, or a call to action or anything?
You know, I would say this. Don't just sit on the sidelines and watch what is happening with history. We are all created for a purpose. And I don't care if your purpose is being the neighborhood leader in your neighborhood. The most important thing that we can do in any community that we live in is be engaged. And too many people are sitting on the sidelines watching, critiquing, and judging those of us who are courageous enough to stand up, to be forward, and to make the tough decisions. It's not easy, but when you're called to do something that you know that you should be doing,
Deep in your spirit.
when you know deep in your spirit this is where you're supposed to be, I just need some people to trust that. And I just need people to understand the sacrifices that those of us in these kind of roles have to make in order to do the right thing. So don't forget who we are as people. Respect the call. But also get engaged and find a way how you can help and volunteer and be a part of the history that we're making. Because I don't do it alone.
You got a team.
And that team is you. That team is you.
Yes. We cross over back and forth.
We sure do.
Yeah.
We all need each other at the end of the
Yes.
day. We all need each other.
That's the unique thing I think about our bi-state. That's what makes us unique.
Right.
And if we pitch in and help a hand, but let's get into some rapid fire.
Uh-oh.
Let me get to know you a little bit deeper.
Okay. Here we go.
One word to describe your leadership style.
Participatory. I'm a team player.
Love that. Okay. Favorite place in Kansas City, Kansas?
My house. My bed. I love to sleep.
Oh, I'm a napper. I will take a nap. So I am with you there. What is something people would be surprised to learn about you?
Well, that my father was, like I said, a radio broadcaster for KMZ, KMER. I think people would be surprised to know that who he was and what a history maker he was himself. My mother is a minister. A lot of folks don't know that.
That's why you've been preaching to us today.
And I myself am a missionary.
Okay.
So a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. If your life had a theme song, what would it be?
Oh, that's so easy.
Is it? Okay.
Living my life like it's golden.
I know that's
Jill
right.
Scott.
What keeps you grounded during stressful moments in leadership?
Oh, Jesus. You know, when those high tense times come, I just, okay, Lord.
Touch the hem of his garment.
Yeah. I just say a prayer and because I have faith.
Yeah.
Because I believe that I'm here for a reason. And so God's got me. So
What's one issue you think deserves more public attention right now?
homelessness. And working together to solve that. We may never solve it because some people will choose to be homeless, right? And some people can't help but be homeless, unfortunately, maybe because of their mental state or whatever. But I think it deserves more attention, and I believe it deserves more resources.
What legacy do you hope to leave behind as mayor?
That I did the doggone thing. That I changed the culture.
Yes.
That I set the stage for the organization to be more efficient. And that we brought in development that enabled us from an economical standpoint to balance our taxes and create a better quality of life for our residents.
I love that. Well,
Yeah.
I believe you're going to do it. I think it's the door song. We did it.
We did it.
Hooray.
Yeah.
That'll be your theme song at the end of your mayor.
No, the end of my theme song is going to be Mary, Mary, it's the God in me.
Okay.
It was the God in me that got us through.
That is a good one. And we are going to get through, and you are going to do all the great things that you've set your mind to. It's been very intentional. This conversation has been a great insight into what you can do when you mean it. And
but you know what? The most important thing is utilizing people to do it. We don't delegate enough. We want all the attention for ourselves.
yes,
And for me, I don't care about the attention. I don't care who gets the credit. If you have the talent and skill sets to do it better than me, then why wouldn't I utilize you to do it? I think that is, if there was anything that I've learned in that, is that you cannot do it alone, and you should never be afraid to utilize others and to allow them to shine in the process.
I love that. And on that note, we are going to thank you for shining today on our podcast and
Thank you.
for encouraging you guys to be city sculptors and get out there, get off the sidelines, be genuine.
Yeah.
And we want to see more city sculptors on the Kansas City, Kansas side too. So
Absolutely.
thank you for joining
Thank
us,
you.
Mayor Watson. I appreciate you
you.
being here, and we will see you next time.